Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to show you really quickly how I use the application Socrative. So typically how I get there is I will do a quick Google search for Socrative teacher, only because there is also a student login that you can see down below. I'll show you guys what that looks like in just a minute, but first and foremost, I kind of want to help you guys navigate through the Socrative teacher version. So when you first enter into Socrative, mine is automatically logged me in, but you will need to create an account. I think I logged in through Google, which was just easier for me, and now it just logs me in automatically every time. So when you first see this page here, this is just like the entrance page, and how you can launch any type of assessment that you are administering. But before we get to this page, I did want to show you guys what each of these tabs look like. So first we have our quizzes tab. Here is where you can see all of the quizzes that I've made in years past and this year as well. Next, you have the rooms page. So if you have the pro version, you can have more than one room. I have the free version, so I only have one room. So the only one I see is mine with my code. Now, when you get your code, it's going to be a bunch of different numbers. You can always click right here and change it. I just added mine as my last name and the number 20, and it's pretty easy for me to remember. Next, you have reports. So all of the quizzes that I've administered, again, from last year, this year, they're all housed here. And then lastly, you have the results page. So when you are actively launching a quiz, you can see the kids' results come in actively. So you can see who's logged in, you can see who's finished, you can see who's still taking it, and just kind of get a gauge at what scores look like, which questions students are having misconceptions on while they're actively taking the quiz. So you don't have to do this after they've finished. Now, I did want to show you guys how to create an exit ticket. So I'm going to delete this one. So I have another free one. So it says you can house up to 19 free quizzes. So I have quizzes from previous years that I'm probably going to delete because I don't need them anymore. So today I'm going to go under add, select new quiz, and I'm going to title this exit ticket. I'm going to align this quiz to a standard. So really cool thing about Socrative is that it houses all of the core standards from different states. So I can scroll down and find Texas, and the ones that I find ours under is under this Unpacked 2017. So I can go down to 8th grade, and then I'm going to select author's purpose because this is what I'm going to be assessing tomorrow, and press save. So now this quiz is aligned to a standard, so if I ever needed it, and when I publish these results, it'll tell me which standard I was assessing. So now you can start adding your questions. So it gives you options. You can do multiple choice, true or false, or short answer. For the purposes of these exit tickets, I'm going through and adding multiple choice questions just because it's easier for me to see, quantifiable data. So when you are adding a question here, you can use the different tools so they can, you can make a piece bolded, you can make it italicized, underlined, however you think your kids would read it best. And then you can start asking the questions here. So yada, 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 yada. This is my question, just some blurb on the page, and then you can start adding your multiple choice answers down below. And the other really great thing about this is that you can adjust the point. So if I'm adding two multiple choice questions, I can make each question 50 points. Now, the other great thing about this is that if you wanted to provide a visual response or question for the students to answer, you can do that. So you can click here and it would bring up your files so that way you can see and add any pictures that you wanted to your questions. So after you add your questions, you also have the option to add an explanation, which I like doing because when you administer a quiz, you can physically see when the students answer, they can see whether they got it wrong or correct. And if they got it wrong, you can tell them why. And if they got it correct, you can also have the explanation there as well. So that's really quickly how you create a quiz as an exit ticket. And now the next piece would be to, let me just delete this one actually and go back, and I'm going to show you how to launch a quiz from the beginning. So let's say I really wanted to give this author's purpose day 2 exit ticket. So this is what my exit ticket looks like completed. So I have my passage up above, I have the author down below, and then in bold, I've added the question so the kids can distinguish between the two. Down below, I've added the answer choices and selected the correct answer. So that way I just have 2 questions, same passage, and the kids see it on their screen just fine. So when I want to go ahead and administer the quiz, you can do this one of 3 ways: quiz, space race, or exit ticket. I usually opt for quiz. The space race makes it more of a game, so the kids who answer the most correct, it puts it into a race situation, kind of like Blookits do, but it isn't as fun as a Blookit. It does still look like a quiz on their end. But I do really like Socrative because of how quickly it generates the data for me. So I'm going to go ahead and press quiz. Then I can pick one of the quizzes that I already have. I said I wanted to do this author's purpose day 2. So I'm going to press next, and then it gives you the options on how you want to administer it. So I typically give them open navigation. I will require their names, so you have to make sure that you physically tell them to write their full names out. You can shuffle the questions, you can shuffle the answers. You can also give them the option to see their final score at the end. So I will press start, and then here is my open quiz. So you guys see, after I've launched the quiz, it takes me to the results page, and it can show you everything up above. Now, sometimes what I like to do is I will display this page on my screen in front of the class, but I will hide the names and hide the responses. So that way you can't see what answers they got correct or incorrect, but you can see just kind of whole class and show to the whole class how they're doing on the quiz. You don't have to do that. It's just something I like to do when I am administering these. That's pretty much how Socrative works. Again, I did want to show you underneath the rooms page how you can show kids the URL to give them direct access. So you can put this link up on the board, but what you can also do is you can have your kids pull up a Google tab on their Chromebooks and have them search up Socrative student. So we have the teacher version, they'd have the student version. So when you log in here, you would type in the room name, which my room was Moreno 20, and then my name, and then it shows me the quiz. So this is what it looks like from the student side. So they would see the passage, they'd see the question, and because it's open navigation, they can slide left and right between each of these. And so when they're done and they've submitted it, I'm just going to quickly select 2 answers. I don't remember if these are correct. I apologize. I'm going to say, please confirm. Are you sure you want to finish the quiz? Say yes. I made a 0. Okay, so let's go back and look at what it says on the teacher side, because now you can see what the results looks like. So under results, you see my name, you see I got a 0, and you see which answers I've selected. Again, if you want to display this up on the board, you can cover up the name, you can cover up the responses, but you can see that this person scored a 0 because they didn't get anything correct. So another thing is when you are done with the quiz, you can press finish activity, finish, and then this really amazing button right here, export, is what's going to help you so much. So you have options here on how you want to export the results. The complete results Excel is my favorite, only because I can click save to drive. So that should be added to my drive shortly. So if I go to my drive, it's going to show up up at the top. Usually it'll generate and create a folder for you. My folders are up at the top of my Google Drive just because they're easy access. So I can click open Socrative reports. I can look for today's date. Today's the 29th, and I can open up to see the results automatically loaded into a Google Sheet. So it'll tell me the student's name, student ID. This isn't listed there because this is, I believe, only in the Pro version. But it'll tell me the score, how much, the score number, like how many I've gotten correct, and then lastly, it would tell me which answers I selected. The other really great thing about this is that it gives you the class scoring down below as well. This part can really help you identify as a group what your kids may be struggling on overall, or if you created your own assessment and all of your students are scoring one question wrong and selecting one answer, you may have an opportunity to look at how you wrote the question and identify any misconceptions that the students had, or identify whether or not the question was accurate or not, right? So that being said, that's about it for Socrative. I just wanted to show you what it looks like from my end, what it looks like from the students' end, and then if there's any questions, you guys know you can always reach out to me. Socrative is so easy to use, very user-friendly, and I hope this helps you guys, and I hope this makes your lives a bit easier so we don't have to hand grade anymore. Again, you guys let me know if you have any questions, and you'll have a happy Tuesday. Bye!